Hello and welcome to another episode of the CUFI Weekly. And on a day when we pause to remember the tragic and evil acts of September 11th, 2001, I also want to take a moment to talk about the absolutely disgusting murder of Charlie Kirk, the founder and president of Turning Point USA. That we reached a point in the United States that simply when somebody thinks differently, has an opinion which is different to our own, has views that we may not particularly like, that they are being murdered or they are speaking to campus students is truly disgusting. We are thinking of Charlie's family, his loved ones in this terrible, terrible time, and especially his two young children. As we pause to remember the terror attacks that happened in New York City, in Pennsylvania, and Maryland, it's really important that we do not lose sight of what happened on that day. It seems so distant and so disconnected for so many Americans that we now live in a society where terrorism is being praised. We saw in the immediate aftermath of the October 7th attacks, rather than America, a country known for its freedoms, for fighting against terrorism, rather than it rallying around our friend and ally Israel, we saw protests supporting Hamas, a genocidal terrorist group which has murdered Gazans, Israelis, Americans, and a slew of other nationalities. And what we saw after 9/11 was a real focus by America to hold those who perpetrate these attacks accountable. And that, of course, culminated with the killing of Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. Just this week, we saw Israel launch strikes against Hamas leadership in Doha, Qatar. Now, predictably, many governments condemned Israel's actions, yet it was a violation of Qatari sovereignty, etc., etc. And just today, Canada said it would be reevaluating its ties with Israel in the aftermath of the attack in Qatar. At this point, we don't know how successful that attack was. Hamas is saying that none of its senior leadership were killed. They were gathering at a meeting in Doha when the strike took place. Given Hamas's history and its health ministry and how they concoct their figures, I'm going to wait until we have cast iron evidence of what the situation on the ground is. But the fact that Canada and other nations are condemning Israel, the fact that Canada is reevaluating ties, while it has not reevaluated ties with Qatar, who are hosting a genocidal terrorist group, it begs the question, why the double standard? Surely in the aftermath of 9/11, we were committed to hunting the terrorists wherever they were. And Israel is doing the same thing. And whether this strike was successful or not is yet to be seen, but it sends a message that those who are responsible for October 7th, they have no safe havens, be it in Iran, be it in Gaza, be it in Qatar, which is an American ally. We have the largest American base in the Middle East in Qatar. They are not safe there. While they have hid in their 5-star luxury hotels while the people of Gaza suffer, Israel is bringing justice to terrorists who sought murder and mayhem on October 7th while they were miles away in the safety of the Four Seasons in Doha. In this fight against terrorism, it's not a question of perspective or trying to understand. It's a simple question of right and wrong. It's those who seek to murder innocent people to further their agenda. And for some reason, the world thinks that it has a right to tie Israel's hands behind its back when it tries to fight against those who seek to annihilate its people. Just this week, there was a terrorist attack in Jerusalem which murdered 6 innocent people. Hamas claimed responsibility. That alone provides the justification for Israel to strike Hamas's leadership. Ultimately, as we remember 9/11, as we remember the victims of terrorism, we honor them by standing up against terrorism wherever it is in the world. We honor the victims who were killed that day by ensuring that we will not allow this country to be a safe haven, either physically or ideologically, for those who espouse the same terrorist agenda. 9/11 wasn't America's first interaction with Al-Qaeda. It started way before that. If we look at the the battle in Mogadishu, which was popularized by the book and that movie Black Hawk Down, that was Al-Qaeda. The attack on the USS Cole, the Al-Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia. America has been fighting terrorism for a long, long time. So to see Americans waving the flags, saying that they are Hamas, chanting the same slogans that those who murdered thousands of Americans on 9/11 did, is deeply disturbing. And we have to make a choice. Do we stand for what's right, or do we stand with evil? Do we stand with justice and freedom, or do we stand with terror? And more importantly, what kind of country do we want to leave for our children? I firmly believe, as an immigrant to this country, America's best days are still ahead of us. But it is going to take every single one of us speaking up for truth, speaking out against evil, and not condoning and allowing violence to be used as a tactic to silence those who think differently. This is Kasim Hafeez for the CUFI Weekly. For Zion's sake, do not remain silent.
Thanks for checking out this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe so you get a notification every time a new episode hits. And if you want to check out some of our previous episodes, and we've got some really good ones, click on one of the thumbnails and that will take you right there. And finally, if you want to know more about CUFI and the work we do, go to cufi.org to check out all the resources we have available free to you.